Stand by to receive our transmission.
Where are you boys from in the world?
Alabama, sir.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Welcome to the Bama Geeks podcast. We are four friends diving into our favorite pop culture topics with a dash of Southern charm.
We have the tools, we have talent. It's Miller time.
Whoa, this is heavy.
Pizza Dude's got 30 seconds.
Wait, what? Crazy? You didn't say I was crazy.
You got the wrong guy. I'm the dude, man.
You want something done, you've got to do it yourself.
Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes!
So grab your biscuits and gravy, a glass of sweet tea, and enjoy the nerdy hospitality of Brock and Jessica Parker, Bo Bearden, and Kevin Gardner.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Hey, welcome back to Bama Geeks. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Brock Parker, and as always, as I love to say...
What is it that you love to say?
As always. I like to say as always. That was your cue to go, oh, hi, I am so-and-so.
Oh, hi. But the way you started that out, you said, hey, welcome back to Bama Geeks.
Hey.
Hey.
Well, you pretty much always say, like, my people, my compadres. Who are you?
Yeah, who are y'all?
I am Jessica.
I'm Bo.
And I'm Kevin.
And there we go. We got that out of the way. Just a roundabout way of doing it this time. We really appreciate you joining us for this episode. And we're going to hit on some things. That's kind of what you do in a podcast, right?
Yeah, I mean, right. Yeah.
I am we're on fire again tonight. So as of this recording, Magic City Con 2021 is upon us. It's actually in less than a week now. So we're going to discuss Magic City Con and what you could expect. Bo and Kev joined our fan group, the Alabama Ghostbusters, at the Aniana June Fling yesterday. And from what I understand, lost some water weight. Ghostbusters Day, we talked about it on the last episode, and it's happened. There were some reveals and some products made available to purchase. What did we buy? We'll tell you. And we also brought up at the end of the last episode the peanut butter solution, a memory that jarred for some reason from my childhood. I remember it in 1987. It's a 1985 movie. We are actually going to discuss that. 3 out of the 4 of us. We'll let you take a guess whom has not watched it.
Surprise, surprise.
But in all fairness, my man was on vacation.
That's right.
He was enjoying the high life, and the rest of us were on the low life watching this thing. We'll discuss the peanut butter solution.
And in all fairness, Brock, the movie is freaking horrible.
It's terrible.
It's so bad.
Jess and I watched it last night just to get a refresher because we had my kids all week. The last episode, we had my daughter on. And she's like, I don't really want to watch this the way y'all made it sound. So we didn't force her to watch it. So we waited until we took the kids back. But anyway, something we have all seen, amazingly, it's a miracle. We've all seen Loki, the first episode of Loki.
Yes.
We're going to break that down, try not to spoil too much, even though I really feel like there's not a whole lot to spoil.
Right.
It was setting a lot of things up. But we'll get to that towards the end of the podcast. But before
we've all seen it, including Bo.
Yeah.
Bo has seen it.
I am not the variant this time.
That's right. He has seen episode 1, though, so we'll see how this plays out.
The beautiful thing is, Bo sent us all a message today in our group chat that said, I've seen Loki. We're like, who are you? What is this?
New phone. Who dis?
Exactly.
Oh, but before we jump into talking about Magic City Con coming up, we want to go ahead and tell you our social media. We kind of hang on to that for the end of the episodes, but in case you bail on us, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and YouTube. Just look up Bama Geeks on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We are at Bama Geeks, and we'd love to interact there. Tell us what you want to hear from us. If not, and you're still listening, then you're going to get what we give you. That's the penalty you must pay.
Wow.
No.
Brock, it's not a penalty. It's an opportunity,
dude.
Sir.
We're talking about the peanut butter solution. That's a penalty.
Yeah. We might lose some people after this one. I don't know.
Yeah, we might. I don't know. Maybe we need to adjust our layout and put peanut butter solution at the very end so that people can bail after we talk about Loki.
You know what? Let's do that. Okay, we'll jump on Loki first, and then we're going to bring up the peanut butter solution for the last time. So if you want
I know a lot of fangirls that feel that way. Sorry.
Mr. Hiddleston,
or fan guys.
Okay, you know.
We love Tom Hiddleston.
Oh boy.
Okay, so anyway,
we all got lost in the thought of Tom Hiddleston, I believe.
Hey, how can you not?
The man totally agree.
The man is wonderful.
He is a handsome sack of man.
He is. Yes. But yeah, join the conversation with us. Go visit us at Bama Geeks on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Look up Bama Geeks on YouTube, where this podcast is available, and we will actually put out a video one day when you're not looking at my kitchen and all the boxes behind me that I'm putting together the Eagle Moss Ecto 1, massive die-cast 3-foot long ectomobile. I'm putting it together, and that's what these boxes are kits that I've yet to put together. I worked a little bit on it today before we got started because since we took the kids back yesterday, we took the afternoon and kind of relaxed around the house. And so I put together about 8 of those kits today.
Mm-hmm.
And for reference, guys, obviously, as always, we're on video. So, he's pointing to this for us, for our reference so that we know what's going on. But from your perspective, you're going, what is he even talking about?
Huh?
Do what?
Oh, me. So, all right. So Magic City Con is coming up this upcoming weekend, Father's Day weekend, as of this recording. I know we're going to have a lot of our Alabama Ghostbusters people there. And Magic City Con is a fantastic con every year. It's put on by Jamie Phelps and Rita Houston. And we love these ladies very much. They are fantastic. We have been dealing with them ever since the very first Magic City Con. And they put on a heck of a show. They know how to do a con, and it's fun. So what are you guys looking forward to? I know we've seen some guest announcements. Yeah, we know, our fan group, the Alabama Ghostbusters, will be there. What are you guys hoping for out of this Magic City Con this year?
I will tell you that more than anything, just like with Pensacon, I went to Pensacon not too long ago. I'm just looking forward to being with people and being with my people and actually getting to go and talk to everyone. Everything else to me with conventions is secondary in that sense, going to see celebrities. It's just kind of like what you guys have mentioned in the past about DragonCon. When you go to DragonCon, you go to meet up with your friends and you go to do all of the things with them. That's kind of what I look at Magic City Con for too. So I would imagine the con's not going to be as big as it is. Even Pensacon took a huge hit because of COVID. But even given that, I'm still seriously looking forward to it.
Yeah. I was just looking at their guest list here. DC Douglas is going to be there.
Yep. For us in the Mass Effect world, that's Legion.
Yeah. Yeah, we absolutely love DC Douglas. I met him at DragonCon a few years ago. Sweetheart of a guy.
Yeah, he's a really cool
nice
guy. Really cool dude.
And so I've got a huge Art of Mass Effect book, hardcover book that he and, of course, Mark Meir, who is Commander Shepard, Jennifer Hale, who is the female Commander Shepard, Trisha Helfer, who is Edie. Golly, I've got a lot of autographs from the Mass Effect people in those books. And Magic City Con is a huge BioWare convention.
Yep.
They focus a lot on Mass Effect. They focus a lot on Dragon Age, the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. So that whole world. So if you're into BioWare and you're into those video games, we talked about last time, Mass Effect Legendary Edition just got remastered in 4K. It's out. If you're into those, Magic City Con is definitely the place you want to be. And also see that Jason Marsden is going to be there.
Yes, from the Ghostbuster world. That's Garrett from Extreme Ghostbusters. Let's see, I'm trying to think what else I'm trying to remember.
He was Max in a Goofy movie.
Yep. Binks the cat from Hocus Pocus for United Kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Chester and Fairly Odd Parents. He was Duke in G.I. Joe Renegades, which I love G.I. Joe. I've been watching that on YouTube. Hasbro's been streaming those episodes. It's been so wonderful. Are
they still doing the live stream or they'll do like premieres with it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. The kids and I were watching it this past week while I was off. Well, I watched it. The kids got up and left.
That happened a couple of times.
Par for the course.
Is that now the new generations? Like, like our parents and their grandparents, their dads would always sit and watch the old Westerns. Is it us? We're watching the old cartoons from the 80s. Is that what we're doing?
I think so. and then they're getting up and leaving.
Exactly.
My son was like, I got Super Smash Brothers. My daughter was like, I'm binging Gilmore Girls. Like,
still?
Okay. But, oh my gosh. They just never ending. Kids have their own agenda. Us old fogies, we have ours.
Yep.
But yeah, Magic City Con is so happy that that's going to be back. It's going to be at Hyatt Regency there at the River Chase Galleria in downtown Birmingham. Oh, not downtown Birmingham. It's in Hoover.
In downtown Hoover.
Yes, yeah. Hoover. Just go to Hoover and look for the really tall building. And that's where it is.
Yeah, pretty much the only really big tall building.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
We're so extremely grown up. We got our Hoover, which is I guess Hoover's technically a suburb of Birmingham.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
has its own very tall building.
Oh, we're so proud.
Excited.
It's where the SEC baseball tournament's held every year, close to there.
Yeah.
Yeah, up until the last couple of years, it was the SEC Media Days where they had that there.
Mm-hmm. We're from Alabama. We're going to throw sports in there somewhere.
Well, see, that was always my thing. Like, I joke about them having the SEC Media Days, like, to me, which is basically their version of Football Con. I always, because, of course, I always joked about it. Dragon Con it's always usually the same weekend they have the big football games. And I was always wanting to show up in my Ghostbusters costume and be like, what's all these football fans doing here? Blah, blah, blah. Because, the football fans, they've been really cool. But every so often you run into one, they're always like, why are these people all dressed up?
What's going on around here this weekend? Oh.
The conversations we have had inside elevators at Dragon Con for that football kickoff weekend. What are y'all?
and these are the same people that wind up going to the football game, and then they do the makeup where they like do half their face when they're like, why are those people dressing up for? And then they start getting dressed up. They don't see the distinction.
Yeah, everybody has their own extreme fandom. Exactly.
Yeah, you're just watching guys play football, and we're just watching everybody else play make believe. I don't know. Yeah.
Hey, it's fun. Hey, I keep going.
If you're a Tennessee fan, all your victories are make believe.
Dang.
Life champions.
Sorry, I do love you, Tennessee people. It's just, I'm a University of Alabama alumnus.
We love you, Tennessee people, but we hate that orange.
Oh,
well, that and also, like I said, we are all like our age group. We grew the mid to late 90s when Tennessee was getting many victories over Alabama and Auburn at the time for the Auburn folks too. So the salt is still very, very real, even though,
Hey, Tennessee, I'll give you this much. I've really liked your last couple of coaches, but Philip Fulmer, always the great pumpkin. Okay, we'll get back to pop culture stuff.
Yeah.
But remember, you're listening to Bama Geeks. We're in Alabama.
Yeah.
We hate Tennessee. If you've never seen the Tennessee Hate Week video that some student put out years ago, look for it on YouTube or in the third Saturday in October.
Yep.
It will bring a smile to your face no matter who you pull for. He's funny.
Yeah.
So, but anyway,
Magic City Con.
City Con, not Bash Tennessee Con. Although I will say Tennessee does have a nice campus. That's where I met Jody Benson a couple of years ago. It was in Knoxville.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'll give them that much.
We like Knoxville. They put on a great convention, fanboy convention. We'll be there we'll be there in October.
Guys, there's no saving this in the minds of Tennessee fans at this point. Yeah, can you stop? Okay, let's just talk about Magic City Con.
That's right.
Yeah, roll Tide. Okay, so except for Jess is a War Eagle.
I am.
So I've worked at both Alabama and Auburn. Even after graduating from Alabama, I worked at Auburn, but that's okay. Another story. Actually, there's no story there that I want to tell. So, no, I love Auburn. Love my time at Auburn. Nothing bad. Okay, boy, this is what we do, y'all. We hit tangents and we run with them.
Let's put this train back on its track.
So, another city in Alabama. Speaking of dressing up, Bo and Kevin and several of our buddies from the Alabama Ghostbusters went to Aniana. And I hope I'm saying that right.
You are.
Yes, it's Aniana.
Aniana. Okay.
You
You're saying it correct. And it's the one city that if you actually read it on paper, you'd be like, one onta?
Here's my side note to this, because the industry I work in, and you have insurance adjusters that do not live in the state that call in, and you should hear them try to pronounce Aniana. It is hilarious. It's usually Winoda.
That's, yep.
Winoda. There we go.
So, okay. Anyway, back to.
It's the same thing from where I'm from, down in Southeast Alabama in the Dothan area. I got on so many phone calls when I was living down there and growing up. They would be like, okay, you're near Dothan? No, Dothan. Oh, Dothan. No, Dothan.
Yeah, that's like whenever you're getting directions in Alabama to Mobile. The
Mobile.
The Google's just like, you're going to Mobile. It's like, no, it's Mobile.
It's mobile?
Jeez. Yeah, mobile.
Sort of like the whole Gallagher bit about comb and tomb and all that. C-O-M-B comb. Mm-hmm. Or T-O-M-B tomb. C-O-M-B comb. No,
comb.
Oh, well, I'm glad I got Aniana right. So you guys were there yesterday. Tell us about that. What is June Fling?
June Fling is put on by the Aniana Business Association. They kind of take their little downtown district there, and they have different booth vendors that kind of come out. And it's kind of I guess it's like their little city fest. Mm-hmm. They had enormous pop-up tents, which we were part of. They had a big stage where they had musical acts performing, like I guess local and statewide. We didn't really get to go down there too much because we were trying to make sure we hang out at the booth a little bit. Different food vendors, but it seems to be like this was their 19th annual June Fling. And I keep wanting to call it the Spring Fling because my many years of living in Central Alabama, and the fair was always the Spring Fling. So anytime I tried. But yeah, it's the June Fling, and it was really fun. Like we were next to some folks that were doing some tankless water heaters and a petting zoo. So we were
welcome to Alabama, y'all.
Yes. But no,
oh boy, did they have multiple ponies, and it was awesome.
Yes. They even had a camel, even better.
Oh, did it spit at you?
No, sorry.
Oh man,
we didn't go near the camel.
Yeah, the camel. Times are tough when you can't sell cigarettes anymore. I mean, come on, man, you got to do what you got to do to make ends meet.
Camels are awesome, though. I rode one when I was in the Air Force Station over in Saudi Arabia. They brought them out to the base and like, hey, jump on a camel. Like, okay,
sure, why not?
And if you go to Disney World and ride the magic carpets from Aladdin, they do have that camel that spits at you as you go by.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But we like I said, we hung out. We got there. It went from 9 to 4. I got there a little bit early, and Kevin, Shane joined us not too long afterwards, and Leanne and Jason and her niece and nephew. And like I said, we kind of hung out. It was nice when we first got there. It was nice and a little bit of overcast, a little bit mist, but then.
Oh boy! Goodness. But then the afternoon comes, and
let me tell you guys what the highlight of the day was. I mean, it was an amazing event. It was everything we expected it to be, but overall, it was who can wear their flight suit the longest. And Bo won because I almost wore it as long as he did, but I got to a point where I was even sitting down. And I started feeling my hands tingling and my muscles, like in my arms, were just starting to crinkle up. And then I didn't think much of it other than I really feel like I need to get out of this flight suit because I'm too incredibly hot. Like it was super steamy there pretty much. I mean, probably about what would you say about maybe noon? It really started getting just a little breezy.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. But I went and got it off. And then I was telling them before my girlfriend, she's a registered nurse. And I was describing what was going on to her. And she's like, yeah, you were in kind of the intermediate stages of heat exhaustion. And I was like, okay. And of course, medically, I'm as dumb as a box of rocks. So, I mean, it's, I was like, okay, well, I'm glad that I followed my instincts there and actually got out of the flight suit. But considering just how just oppressively, if you guys listening have been to Alabama during the summer, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like,
brutal.
It's humid. When we got there in the morning, like Bo mentioned, it was foggy. And as soon as we saw that, it was like, oh, this is going to be a day. This is going to be amazing. If it doesn't, because it got about, what was it? About 3:00, 3:30.
Yeah.
And then we got our daily baby shower, just enough to keep it nice and humid, which is pretty much a staple here in Alabama. You get the baby shower.
Yep.
Like, not like a baby shower, but like just a little bit of shower just to keep it humid. But overall, like Bo said, that the event itself was amazing. I mean, there had to have been a couple thousand people there at least.
Yeah,
that's great.
It was a good turnout. Like I said, it seems to be a big thing for them. They've already told us they open up registration for next year right after the first of the year. So we'll definitely get back with them. I mean, they were very nice. And like I said, we had a good time. And
did they have it last year?
I don't think they did last year. I think one of my contacts that introduced me to the folks, Kevin Wilbert, he said they didn't have it last year. I think they it was like, they were hoping to, they were like a lot of things, last year, we're going to try, especially since it would be an outdoor event. But I think they officially just erred on the side of caution, which, I mean, I don't blame them. But overall, we had a wonderful time.
So as soon as we set the table up, the first person to come up, I just happened to be the person standing there, and Bo was standing off to the side, and this first person comes up and is like, "So what do you guys do?" And I froze. I didn't know what to say. It's been so long since I've actually had to do this spiel that I froze, and I just kind of looked at Bo. And
what do we do, Bo? What do we do?
Yeah, and thank goodness Bo is ready. And I was like, and then when Bo did his spiel, I was like, oh yeah, that's what I was supposed to say. Okay, cool. Yeah, I got it.
Well, I was mostly trying to stay off the side too, because I'm always usually the first one to come out there and run my mouth, which I'm good at. But I got it out there, the traditional spiel, and also we threw it out there. We raised money for charity, which the folks were really cool. We raised about $40 for Camp Sam, which I'll be getting to them here very soon.
Oh, nice!
And so I mean, great. We had some miniature crunch bars for people to take, but after about 2 hours out in the Alabama heat, they were like basically crunch chocolate filled tubes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there were a couple of people that actually took them and they were like, yeah, just throw it in the pack and we'll put it in the freezer when we get home and then it'll be fine. Yeah. And that was what we started recommending. And then we would have kids come up and, kids like to come to the table and play. They want to play with the stuff that's on the table. And we have to watch that. But kids would like pick them up and start like banging them between their hands. And I'm like, you are threatening some chocolate hands, okay?
Yeah.
It's about to get really messy for you, so you want to put that down.
Well, speaking of the kids, we talked to a couple of kids, like a couple of them that had they were very aware of Ghostbusters. One kid was talking about how he had a Ghostbusters birthday party a year or two ago. Nice. Like I said, we ran into a bunch of little ones that were all, and a lot of folks, a majority of the folks we talked to were aware of Afterlife. There was a couple people that didn't, so we got to brighten their day by telling them that, So
millennials are doing their part to impart Ghostbusters to the kids, and it made us very happy.
Yeah.
And it doesn't surprise me at all that some people have not been aware of Afterlife. I mean, the movie was supposed to be out a year ago, and there hasn't been much publicity for it because you just didn't know how it was going to go.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good.
It was definitely kind of a shot in the arm to get us, at the very least for me, I can only speak for me, but at the very least for me, it was a shot in the arm to get me back thinking about, fandom, thinking about Ghostbusters, and, actually getting out and doing what the Alabama Ghostbusters like to do, which is get out, get in front of people and share our love of Ghostbusters and then share the whole charity aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
Bo is a champion at that. Well, it doesn't matter how much we play up people coming in and doing stuff for the event. He always does a really good job hooking that charity aspect in. And I think that's why we got a lot of the donations we did.
That's fantastic. Yeah, Smile a Mile, for those who don't know, is a children's camp and organization for kids with cancer across the state of Alabama. And they have a wonderful program down near Alexander City, Children's Harbor at Lake Martin. And it's a fun summer camp for those guys, and they can go and not worry about anything that's going on in their health and in their lives. It's a fantastic organization. We have done quite a bit with them over the years, and that's fantastic that you guys were able to get some more donations for them.
The old brain was moving us into new territory. How some people, may not have cash on them, but I also printed out a QR code. So from now on, this is kind of an idea, say somebody be like, hey, I can't donate. Well, hey, scan this and you go to that, you can bookmark that and you can donate when you get home, or you can donate right then.
Yeah. Sends it right to the
right to the donate.
That's great.
The donation page, even better.
That's perfect. That's a lot better than those jugs we used to have. Of course, you probably sat one of those out.
No, actually, we were using the Spirit Halloween Ghost Trap.
Oh, even better.
Oh, good idea.
Very good idea.
So, but like I said, the jugs, like that was the thing about it, getting back in the saddle of getting out and doing an event again. I was like, remember what all exactly packed or whatever I had. I had what I needed, but not everything. But
yeah. We got there and I was helping Bo set up, and it was like, do you have bungees? I think I've got bungees. No. No, I'm going to go to the car. I think I've got some of them Husky straps. We can just put the thing up with the Husky straps.
I mean, we flipped both banners. We had the Alabama GB banner and the Geeks for Good banner. I mean, I
saw that in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We had put the Alabama GB banner up in the back. And then, me coming in being the table guy, I was like, maybe we should move that to the front and then put the Geeks thing in the back. So we wound up like moving it. And then it's just all getting back into the saddle at this point.
Ghostbusters is always a massive love for all of us. And June the 8th, of course, was Ghostbusters Day. And I had several people personally ask me, why are you celebrating Ghostbusters today? June 8th, 1984, the release of Ghostbusters 1.
That's right.
In the past couple of years, it hasn't been a whole lot to do for Ghostbusters Day from Sony and from other vendors. But this year, we actually had pretty good announcements. We started the day off. I think Ivan Reitman and Bill Murray put out a video. Of course, Bill's like, what is Ghostbusters Day? Is this a national holiday? It's like, yeah, Bill, it is.
Just to see Bill engaged was just the perfect start of the day for me.
Yeah, he has had nothing but good things to say about Afterlife so far. And that's
key.
That says something, yeah.
It's extremely key because he's been one of the main holdups for 30 years.
Well, and the thing is that it's not, when you look at him and the way he's talking, it's not just him acting.
Yeah.
It seems genuine.
He's genuine.
I mean, you can look at it in his eyes and you're like, okay, this isn't, I mean, he's a fantastic actor. We all know that, but this isn't acting. He actually is, behind this 100%, which, I mean, Bill being behind it, that tells you everything you need to know. Go see the movie. It's going to be amazing.
And we also had on Ghostbusters Day, Sony released a video of Jason Reitman also sitting down looking at, it looked like kind of an iPad, some sort of tablet or maybe a laptop.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But he looked like Tony Stark with his hands turning the model, the Ecto, around. He's waving his hands in the air and the model, the Ecto, was moving around. So some of this technology that they're able to see a lot of the 3D views in the movie just by moving.
Basically a fully 3D render they could adjust and rotate.
Yeah. It was really cool. And that's technology that's exciting.
Yeah. And they had the Twitter space chat.
That was so much fun to listen to. You had Ivan and Jason, and you had Logan Kim on there.
And McKenna
Grace, Carrie Coon.
Finn Wolfhard.
Finn Wolfhard was on there. Of course, that was hosted by IGN. And that was just a solid hour of them basically just like us. They were an hour of them having a conversation on Twitter Spaces, which is a new audio feature from Twitter. And they were just all having fun, having a conversation, and we all got to listen in.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of people comment, and it's true. You kind of felt like you're eavesdropping on their conversation.
Yeah.
It felt so intimate in that moment just to hear them just sitting there discussing and talking about the experiences and making the movie. And
yeah. And the funniest thing I heard was Ivan. He said, "Oh no! I just looked down at the screen and I see all these people listening, and you can see all the listeners on Twitter Spaces." And he's like, "Wow, there's a lot of people on here."
It's amazing. A lot of people like Ghostbusters. I mean, wow.
Yep. Yep. And of course, they introduced Logan Kim's character's name. His name is Podcast, and I'm sure there's a good reason for that. And as us being a podcast group, we applaud that. So we'll get to see Logan Kim and see his character. And then a new character was revealed.
Celeste O'Connor. She is playing Lucky in the film.
She's the young lady they show at the restaurant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Somebody made a reference the other day I was looking at when they showed her character. She's got a necklace that has her name on it, kind of like Patty from
I did see that. Right.
And her restaurant uniform was like one of those baseball shirts. It's the white main part of the shirt, but then it had a red collar and red sleeves.
Right.
Which was similar to a shirt that
Aaron / Kristen Wiig wore.
Yeah. Thank you. Again, Bama Geezers. So yeah,
okay, Brock will admit sometimes the memory just kind of comes and goes these days.
Y'all,
and you guys notice I'm not even trying. So that's all good. These guys have got this.
Well, Bo and Jess have it. But yeah, so it's kind of maybe a little Easter egg back to answer the call, which I thought was neat. Some product reveals. We had the Ghostbusters official online store released 4 T-shirts. And if you go to shop.ghostbusters.com, if you go there, you've got until the end of June to order these shirts. Jess and I bought 3 shirts. I bought 2 different designs. One, a really good friend of ours, John Yerkeba.
Yes.
Who's a wonderful artist. He did some art, like the official map last year for Ghostbusters Fan Fest, or in 2019. Sony and Ghost Corps hired him to do one of the designs on the T-shirt. Grab it if you can. It's fantastic. It's got all the little mini Stay Puffs. And the longer you look at that shirt and his design, the more little Easter eggs you see.
A lot of details in there.
Yep. And Ghostbusters, the official social media accounts run by Eric Reich from Ghost Corps, they have posted up a video of John working on the shirt design and everything. And another a friend that we've gotten to know through Yes Have Some podcasts, Craig and Abigail and Jake, we're all part of a big Facebook group that they run called Yes Have Some Group Therapy, where we all get together and talk and discuss. And I bought another design from Brendan Pierce.
That is the one I'm going to buy of the 4 first. I'm getting John's, but that one's just so much fun. I love that design.
It is wonderful. It's got the big proton pack on it. It's big 2021 and a lot of neat things on there as well. But his art studio is called Baducci Studios, and he's from Australia. And so I made sure that I told Brendan and John both, I let them both know multiple times, I bought your shirts because I love you guys. They're friends.
Yeah.
So, and there are a couple of other designs. One is from someone in England. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah. But the other 2 shirts.
The other artist was from Canada.
Yeah. 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 The other 2 shirts are fantastic. I chose the 2 guys that I know.
Right.
To buy their designs and to help support them. But you've got until the end of June to go to the official Ghostbusters online store and support all 4 of these artists. They're fantastic. And we really applaud Sony and Ghost Corps for reaching out to the fans, bringing them into this and showcasing not only their work, but, making them a part of the universe.
Yes. There was also a couple of new still shots too released. Ghostbusters Day 2.
Oh, can we talk about the house?
Oh, that house.
Can we talk about that farmhouse?
Wow.
Oh my goodness. I want to live in that farmhouse. It was a photo from nighttime, and it was the Ecto sitting in the driveway next to this house, and this house looks fantastic. It looks like a haunted house.
Check out all them antennas if you hadn't seen this picture yet.
On top of it, all the radar dishes and everything. This is
that big dish.
I'm assuming this, like I said, this is non-spoilers, but I'm assuming this was Dr. Spengler, Dr. Spengler's retirement home, where whatever. This is just me guessing. Like I said, he had some intention to be in Somerville, Oklahoma, and was able to finish it. But seeing that, like I said, that like you said, the aesthetic of it, you've got the Ecto 1 all rusty and
nasty,
looking wonderful, sitting next to that old building in the old house.
It's a beautiful shot. It really is.
That is, I want to. Did they release anywhere like a high resolution version of that you could download? Because I want that as a print.
I'm not sure, but that a print or a wallpaper for sure.
I want that on my wall in my house. That is a gorgeous shot. So I Sony, Eric, Ghost Corps, if you guys are listening, please make that available as a poster, as some sort of print. I want that so badly. That is so beautiful. It's just old, rustic, nasty, haunted looking. It's Ghostbusters, baby. That's what it should be.
I have to say, that's exactly what you'd expect from Ghostbusters. I mean, if that's where a good bit of the filming and everything is going to take place, that's going to be phenomenal.
Well, which is so weird because you always automatically associate Ghostbusters with New York City, and you're like, the Ecto Wood would look at a place, out of the city, but nope, that shot does it.
Somebody said that and it's been forever since I've seen it, but somebody said that house looked like the Filmation Ghostbusters, like their house.
I could see that. I can see
it has
that.
it has a resemblance. Doesn't look exactly like it, but it has a resemblance.
And there was somebody talking about the things that are hanging from the trees that they said they're bottles, and the theory is it's supposed to be there's some kind of element to that. The bottles catching spirits, but who knows? Yeah. You know how theories go. You know how fan theories are.
Could be like, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, when they go into Sherwood Forest and they've got wind chimes hanging up there to scare off the sheriff of Nottingham and everything.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We also got a shot of Celeste O'Connor's character, Lucky, in a diner, apparently. And it looks like to me, from looking at the picture, that I think that's Finn Wolfhard sitting across the table from her. So I'm gathering that these two are going to have a, friendship, relationship, maybe. Could be his love interest.
Hey, let her sit in the gunner's seat. Take her for a ride.
Yeah.
She's wearing a shirt that says Spinners on it.
So that's the restaurant. So another logo that we can utilize to find shirts and stuff. Like
there already is one.
Oh, there is?
Somebody has put one out, I think on TeePublic. They've taken that logo. So somebody
never underestimate the fan community.
Hey, I only have a button of the hot dog over the house that Kevin made from Answer the Call. I still need that on a t-shirt.
Still one of the best logos ever.
It's a hot dog over a house. I can't speak Australian. I'm sorry.
If we got something good out of Answer the Call, at least was the hot dog over the house. So, It
was Chris Hemsworth. Always Chris Hemsworth.
Hey, what was it? What was the quote he said that was memorable about the aquariums? Aquariums are just
submarines for
fish.
Yeah.
That was phenomenal.
Answer the phone, Kevin.
Puts his finger through the lens of the glass. We'll have to discuss Answer the Call one day. I know it's...
That would be a fun thing.
We'll discuss it one day. We know it's not universally loved. We'll put it that way, but we like
Enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do.
Oh, the girls were phenomenal. Sorry.
I liked them. I fully admit that I liked them.
That's my Dan Aykroyd impression.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
Listen here, cadet. The girls were wonderful.
I'm sorry.
Paul Feig, you just spent too much money.
I didn't realize you were doing the impression of Dan because you didn't have Crystal Head vodka in your hand.
Yeah, I was about to say. I mean, he's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, buy some Crystal Head vodka, please."
Yeah. Even if you don't drink, buy them just for the bottles. The bottles are great, actually.
Oh yeah,
we have a couple. One signed by Dan that Bo got for me. Golly, in 2010.
Yeah, it was about 10. I think it was 10 years ago.
Oh wow, it's been that long.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, man. But Hasbro popped out some nice little surprises as far as toys. We got, of course, we're getting a re-release of the Plasma series, the 4 original guys. But this time they all come with proton streams and they all glow in the dark, have slime on them. You better believe I grabbed 2 sets.
Of course. Man.
But in addition to those.
Yeah, can we really talk about the little guys? Yeah.
They're putting out the official action figures, the sets of the mini Stay Puffs, 3 in a pack with 3 interchangeable heads. Mm-hmm. That's army building marshmallows if I've ever seen it.
And I want to say each pack is not going to have, well, I'm sure eventually you would run into duplicates, but each pack is going to have three mini marshmallows and 3 different heads, but each heads are variant by package.
Are they?
I hope so.
I understand. That's what I'm understanding. I may have misread.
I know there's 6 different heads altogether.
Yeah.
But
they might be different ones.
Well, I ordered 2 packs, pre-ordered 2 of those. I'm not going to build, 15,000 marshmallows in the house because tiny house.
If we had the space, though, we would make that happen.
You totally would, Brock. You totally would do that.
I would do that for her.
Yeah, I'm gonna get me a couple. They're gonna be. I want to give me a couple. I know I want to have a mini Marshmallow Man, and I'm gonna adhere it to the top of my proton pack. Nice. I want one on the edge of my pack. That's one of the things I think I'm gonna do with that.
One of those or one of those minis, those mystery minis would be good for that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they also, not that this wasn't. I just happened to learn about this on Ghostbusters Day. I don't know if it was released on Ghostbusters Day, but the Hallmark keepsake ornament for Ghostbusters this year.
That was the other one.
Is going to be the mini puffs in looks like a little coffee cup. It looks like one of the guys has got a straw on the side of it, drinking out of the cup.
It's marshmallows for you. It's mini Stay Puft for you, and it's a coffee cup. It's everything in your wheelhouse.
I mean, that's the perfect Christmas ornament for my tree. Absolutely.
We'll have 3, almost guaranteed.
Of course, no trailer.
Nope.
But that's okay.
That's fine.
That's fine. I'm not ready for trailer. I don't know if I want trailer. I know we've had this discussion many times.
You guys sound so convincing. It's like, that's fine. It's fine. We didn't want a trailer. It's fine.
It's really fine.
Give us a trailer.
I am scared of second trailer.
I'm with you on that, Jessica. I'm just afraid that they're going to reveal too much on it because, that's kind of the thing. But at the same time, as long as they can keep the marketing guys in check with that, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Also, the other thing is, though, also with the, over a year delay of getting the movie out there, I think they're still wanting to save, the reasons the people come see that, come see it. So, I mean.
Yeah. Polish up the first trailer, maybe throw 1 or 2 smaller things in there, just to refresh people's memories. Like you said, at the event yesterday, people didn't know Afterlife was happening. Just throw a refresher out there. So, yeah, that wraps up Ghostbusters Day and all their reveals, and we are thrilled to see so many things come out. And I know by the time the movie comes out November 11th, Veterans Day, that's an easy date to remember for that. But in August, Hasbro is hopefully going to be shipping out via Walmart their Ecto-1s, the reissue of the Kenner Ecto-1s. And while I'm not building a mini Stay Puft army for the house, I'm going to have a fleet of those Ectos. So got 2 ordered, and I'm sure if we see them in the stores, we'll grab probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. I don't know.
It really rolls.
These do roll. I have the original still. It rolls. It's fine. Well, as we get away from Ghostbusters, we get into Marvel. This past Wednesday, the first episode of Loki dropped on Disney Plus. And there's the spoiler siren. Woohoo! So you know it's coming. We haven't done that in a few episodes. All 4 of us have seen it. We're not spoiling it for us. We might spoil it for you. So just be aware. We're going to talk about Loki. We're going to talk about this episode. And Kevin, I believe, has had a good list of Easter eggs that I personally have not seen or caught. We were only able to view the episode once. So my memory being as stellar as it is, I'm going to be relying on you guys to really go in depth with this.
I watched it today, so I mean, it's probably the freshest on my mind.
You're the freshest one of the bunch.
Fresh bow. New hashtag, fresh bow. What'd you guys think about it? I thought it was a fantastic start to where he disappeared in Endgame.
I can legitimately say that I think now that I've seen this, and I've seen a couple of videos talking about the Easter eggs on this is how they're going to introduce the X-Men. Because talking about this episode, then we have the TVA, which I'm just going to say, folks here in Alabama, we think very differently of TVA.
I was about to bring that up.
Tennessee Valley Authority?
Exactly. In Alabama,
it's a power company.
It's a government-owned power company called the Tennessee Valley Authority. So anytime we're watching this and we're like, it's the TVA, and I'm like, no, that's not the TVA. You don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe that's why Miss Minutes had a Southern accent. Maybe you never
maybe
know.
so. I don't know. And the thing is,
tangent. Did you see who voiced Miss Minutes?
Yeah. As soon as I saw the credits, I was like, yep.
Oh yes.
My heart fluttered. Tara Strong. Give me.
And the thing was,
sorry, honey. It's okay.
Yeah, Tennessee Valley Authority is in the northern half of the state of Alabama, and I immediately thought of that too. As soon as I saw TVA, and I'm like, are we supplying power for the Tesseract now? What's happening?
So one of the things that TVA does, the 3 supreme beings that we're hopefully eventually going to be introduced to, they came together and they decided, all right, well, we don't want all these multiverse timelines fighting each other anymore. We're going to get rid of all that. And now we're going to pull a Rick and Morty where it's like you have Rick and Morty from C-135. It would basically be like them just going and just nuking all the rest of the timelines and saying, our timeline is the only timeline that exists. So that TVA exists specifically to get rid of that. Now, if we're staring down WandaVision, we got WandaVision, and we had that whole situation of she's probably going to be getting into multiverse stuff now. And now we have the multiverse of madness coming up here soon.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
Mentioned by name.
Yes, mentioned by name. Obviously, this whole single timeline thing is about to be in jeopardy. So the really cool thing about this in my mind, as soon as I watched this episode, was guess what? This is going to solve things for Marvel, because now they can literally go, yep, we got X-Men and they exist in this multiverse. And now we have Avengers, that which all of you know was in the MCU. The MCU itself exists in the universe that we all know. Mm-hmm. But X-Men's over here. And then we've got, this timeline over here. They were going to be able to delve into whatever comic book tangents, because like with comic books, they like to do a tangent where they go off and do like a what if or something like that. Like the what ifs could potentially be another timeline altogether, which just blows my mind.
These three supreme timeline beings,
the timekeepers.
Yeah, the timekeepers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, are they part of the Eternals that's coming out?
I don't think so. I think they're actually above them. They are like.
There are theories that the possibility they may actually connect them with the Celestials. You remember the Celestials from
Guardians?
If you have Guardians of the Galaxy, they had the big head. They were mining it out, like mining his brain.
Right.
That they may connect it with them. I don't know if they're Celestials themselves, more than anything, because one of the Easter eggs that was mentioned very prominently was that there's the possibility that with just some of the stuff that was in the episode, that they may alter the story a little bit and make it where one of these supreme beings either becomes Kang the Conqueror. He is a character that's very similar to Thanos, but his gauntlet is like stupid powerful as compared to what Thanos would had. And this guy is someone that apparently has worked with these guys to wrangle the timeline into one stream. And apparently at some point just decides to go rogue and starts wreaking havoc. So he may actually have something to do with starting the multiverse of madness.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, essentially the timekeepers, they're the canon police. I guess they're like, hey, this is how it's supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah. Well, the episode, starts out exactly where Loki disappeared in Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
And we finally get to see he shows up in the Gobi Desert.
Mm. Wait a minute. You said Endgame?
Was it not?
No.
Was it Infinity War?
Endgame. No, Endgame was where he disappeared because that's where they went and got all the stones.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
it's really confusing. And by the way, but because we're doing multiverse stuff, you guys can look forward to the fact that Avengers is going to get infinitely confusing. It's going to be, that's the biggest thing that I worry about with what they're doing with this. And I don't think they have any choice but to go this direction, but it's going to get to the point where, like, so far, the MCU has been pretty linear. It's like you watch a movie, you get a little more. You watch a movie, you get a little more. Now it's going to be like, if you want to see this, go over here. You can watch this. This has no connection to this because so it's going to be like
I said, it's going to be like the old comics where they would say a quote and then there'd be the little asterisk next to their quote, and then at the bottom would be like, "See Avengers issue number 372."
I mean, how are they going to avoid retconning themselves on things? It's going to be like, no, this makes sense. Mm-hmm. Like in this dimension, Magneto happens to have been born later, or in this dimension, Magneto is a duck and he's super powerful. I mean, is
his name Howard?
They could go anywhere they want with this, really.
Ooh.
I mean, the what ifs could be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The interesting thing, like I like so far, this is the Time Variance Authority, but yet they're very set on 1950, 60 technology aesthetics.
Yes.
Oh, the aesthetic of this show is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And the soundtrack so far is like better than anything that I've seen so far in Marvel. So the soundtrack is just, it's spot on. And did you guys happen to catch the moment where Loki actually realized the dimension that he is currently in is massive, when he actually saw like the civilization laid out?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're talking about the departments and he's like, well, you can start with my desk. And then he says, this is like a nightmare. He's like, well, that's a department I would actually help you burn down. That was actually a huge Easter egg.
Yeah.
Because there's a possibility that there is a character in Marvel called Nightmare that may actually appear in the next Doctor Strange movie as his new villain. So we may actually hear of Nightmare coming around. So he may actually not just be talking about like Nightmare as an idea, but Nightmare as literally the dimension that Nightmare comes from.
Like I said, that made me think with stuff going on and like they go with Loki. Can I rather enjoy the fact that Loki was D.B. Cooper and he only did it because it was a bet between him and Thor?
That was awesome.
That was great.
That made me so happy. And then, like you said, to learn that it was based on a bet. I mean, Of course.
That is so Thor.
Yeah, that's exactly.
And now we're like looking like, what else could he have done?
Mm-hmm.
There's so many things in history he could have tampered with.
So he could potentially have been Jack the Ripper.
Could have.
Who knows? I mean, all this stuff could come up as now we know there is a Loki variant. Who's to say that Loki variant wasn't some of these historical figures we couldn't figure out who they were?
That's what I was saying. I know this is going to the end of the episode, but I'm assuming that's what Owen Wilson's character, what is his character's name?
Mobius.
He said that the person they're looking for is Loki.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming, now this is the interesting thing. Like, so technically, if there's been more than one time that Loki got away, is way I'm understanding, and I'm guessing that he's going to be the one that wants to burn. Well, I'm assuming this is probably what may wind up happening, because I don't know if you've noticed, Loki is very disturbed by the fact that he's not in control of his own destiny.
Yes.
It really bothers him.
His powers are completely gone, as well. So,
his powers are gone, and the fact that he was able to just see his whole life play out in front of him on that tape.
Yeah.
It broke him. That broke him. It was almost like the Loki that we know, like the Loki that has learned everything. We just suddenly got there. Like he just fast forward and he's like, you know what? Glorious Purpose is a load of crap.
Yeah. Watching him watch himself affect that timeline, where his mother, where Frigga is killed, and then he sees himself killed by Thanos. Mm-hmm. Glorious Purpose? What glorious purpose?
Within a span of 30 minutes, he just learned that he was in a spot where Infinity Stones were paperweights.
Paperweights, yep.
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, how just a revelation just in that itself.
And then he says, what's it called? The Tesseract. That sounds dumb.
Yeah. What was his name? He was really funny. Oh, the guy behind the desk. Oh, I feel bad. And I just watched it today, but either way,
the actor's been in a lot of stuff, and he is always funny as all get out in anything he's in.
He was so Loki threatened to gut him like a fish, and he's like, "I need to know what a fish is."
What's a fish?
And fast forwarding a little bit, I know we're kind of jumping all around the episode, but what did you guys think of the Loki that showed up at the very end? The one that was in, what was it, Oklahoma?
The veiled Loki, I guess. Like
that particular one, I'm going to go ahead and call it, guys. It's a female variant.
I would not be surprised one bit.
It is a female variant of Loki. This is where Marvel's going to tell us, all of us fans that don't really follow like all these Easter eggs, they're going to make us open to the possibility that there may be gender bent characters.
Well, this also makes me think this may play into the next Thor, since Jane Austen will be taking up the mantle of Thor,
right?
So that could be an interesting way to kind of tie things together. Ooh,
yeah,
ooh.
I mean, because if you think of it from a very Disney-esque like perspective of like, we got to make sure that we're going to be doing all this multiverse stuff, we have to make sure that our audience is ready for it. And I kind of think that's what they're doing with Loki. They're trying to make us ready for it. They're, when next time Wanda comes up, she's going to push more into that. Doctor Strange is going to push more into that. And I think that everything after these, Loki and after, because they've confirmed we're not going to get any more WandaVision, right? So
I think Paul said he's not contracted anymore. That was like a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. Jumping back really quickly to, maybe a female version of Loki, female version of Thor that we know is coming up. If you notice, you get a screenshot of Loki's file that the TVA has. His gender is listed as fluid.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big detail.
Mm-hmm.
Well, also, he is a shapeshifter too.
Right.
Yes.
So I am pretty convinced that as soon as we get the next episode, assuming it picks up where we left off right there, she's going to turn around, and it's going to be like, what?
Well, that'll save their cost on having to split the scenes with him. You know what I mean?
Well, and
use
that's
double
the
like
thing
the Parent
is,
Trap.
I'm sure that Tom Hiddleston's getting pretty expensive at this point.
If they
were to recast, I mean, very well deserved. He's a phenomenal actor, but it's the same as any other character. They can recast them and continue to go. And what better way to say it's a multiverse where, all right, well, like I said earlier, Magneto is too expensive. We're going to recast him with a duck, and
Going back to the Gobi Desert where Loki wound up after he disappeared, I absolutely loved when the TVA agent smacks him in the face with a baton, and they're still moving normally, and his cheeks are blah 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 blah.
Yeah, at 1/6 speed.
I thought that was a great effect. It just that got us a good laugh.
Probably one of the best scenes there, I think, so far as Tom Hiddleston's acting, other than the scene where he gets to see his whole life, was, we kind of mentioned it earlier, but when he opens up that desk drawer and sees all the Infinity Stones, and this is the 2012 version of Loki. Mm-hmm. His entire persona and everything has been fixated on getting this Tesseract and ruling everything, ruling Asgard, ruling the Midgard, ruling the Earth. And then to see all of these just as paperweights in someone's desk, just his face, he looks so broken. That just goes to show you just how good of an actor he is.
Yeah, and I loved when Mobius is sitting there questioning him. Okay, so you wanted to rule Asgard, you wanted to rule Earth.
Yeah.
What were you going to do after that? Well, what was going to happen? Well, okay, and then what? He's like,
Space? Space sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Such a good look for this episode. I'm so excited to see where this goes, and like we mentioned earlier, the aesthetic. I was kind of getting a Fallout vibe.
Yes, thank you. I'm glad I was the only one.
Yeah.
That's the same thing to me.
Very big Fallout vibe from this aesthetic, and I'll of course spend hours playing Fallout games over the course of my life, and continue to do so. And seeing that look now in this show, I was like, I like it. This is what I'm familiar with.
And the cat looks like our cat.
Yeah. Yeah. The cat that was on was sitting on the desk.
Oh, let me tell you, my own personal joke I had with that. I don't know why in my brain, this is just with me, but when he was sitting down, he's like, please sign this, let them know this is everything you've ever said. And then he goes, what? And then he goes, now sign this. And all I could think about was, this is what it's like getting married.
Oh my gosh, you're dead on.
Can you please confirm this is everything you've ever said?
That was great. Seeing all that paper keep coming out. And it's like, he finally just shuts up.
Yeah. And then it was fun. Then the whatever I want to say, the aura detector, it had Loki questioning whether he was a robot or not.
Yeah.
It's like, what happened if you were a robot? Well, it would melt you from the inside. And then he stops it there for a second.
Stops. Yeah. Well, am I a robot? It's like, I'm just not sure I want to pass through that. I have to really sit here and think about that.
And I don't know if you guys picked up on this, but when they were going through the ticket queue, he had the other guy going in there with him. That got killed. Did you guys get Martin Shkreli vibes off of him, the farmer bro guy? There was a lot of rumors that they were really trying to lend that was supposed to be the farmer bro guy. You remember the farmer bro guy?
The guy that jacked up insulin or whatever.
Yeah, it was supposed to, because he even.
Well, I watched it with caption on just because, like I said, old, and it helps me pay attention. But the same guy makes references about how he worked he has family in Goldman Sachs, and how he could. Go back and watch that little section. Yeah, you'll catch some of the stuff in the background.
It's the whole thing of, I really need to go back and watch it again, because like everything else, when you're watching that first episode, you're so busy trying to take it in that you miss those little things. So I'm going to have to go back and revisit all of this again.
Please keep bringing Tara Strong into the episode. That's all I'm asking.
Y'all talking about the ticket thing, though, when he realizes when he's looking for that ticket and he can't find the ticket.
Oh, gosh.
Yes.
And of course, the other guy, he's kind of like, the guy didn't give me a chance to get it. Where just 30 seconds earlier, he was refusing to do it.
Did you notice that the bombs that they use to eliminate timelines, that the effect of the spatial being deleted, that was the exact same effect it did when they were deleting the guy. That they're reusing that effect across the board, so that it kind of gives us a little bit of continuity as to. All right, I recognize that's that weird space effect thing where he's getting deleted as being like, this is the TVA's thing. This is what they do whenever they touch their wand with the right setting, or whenever they set the bomb off. So that's going to be a little bit of consistency across the episode. It's like, when we see this happening, something's getting deleted.
Yeah. And I've already seen some great funny people's personal interpretation of things. Like I saw someone's already edited a picture where they have Marty McFly being interrogated by the TVA.
I saw that. I saw that.
I mean, honestly, it really should be Doc Brown, right?
I was about to say Doc or Biff, especially Biff. You know.
Yeah. Biff would definitely need to be hauled in by the TVA.
Oh my gosh.
Where's your cane?
All right. Yeah. Where's the almanac? We need the almanac.
Ooh la la.
He opens up. There's a whole stack of almanacs. You know. Next to the.
That would be hilarious if somebody does a TVA crossover, like a fan thing.
Oh, I'm sure that was I saw that today. It'll be good. I'm sure as things progress on, more stuff will be fun.
You saying that, I'm not surprised somebody hasn't thrown David Tennant in there or something.
Oh, I'm sure the doctor. Oh my gosh, the doctor.
That'd be great.
We will see a reference at some point. It'll be very vague, but there'll be like a TARDIS off in the distance or something like that. You'll have something like that will come up. What I want to know is, speaking, we were talking earlier about Dragon Con. How many TVA convict costumes do you think there are going to be at Dragon Con?
There's plenty of time to make them.
I say 2 people I know have already said. I know of 2 people that's already planning it.
Oh my gosh, that's going to be phenomenal. Just to see with the neck piece on that controls their time while they're there. That's just going to be cool. And we spent part of the episode thinking that the neck brace piece was what was keeping his magic down, but you get later in the episode you realize no, it's just that magic just doesn't work there.
Yeah, right.
At all. It's just like magic just doesn't work.
Yeah, the whole when he was trying to. When he was trying to do that,
I'm guilty of this, and he's trying to disappear, and just no.
And he's literally doing jazz hands over there, and they're like, "What are you doing?"
Made me think also with going on, everyone's popular theory with WandaVision was Mephisto was the bad guy. Did you know? I kind of rather enjoyed that one of the first things they point to that
the devil
might be the devil.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I thought about that too myself. That came to mind when I don't know if that was on purpose
or not. But but I still thought that I got a good bit of humor in that.
Mm-hmm. Did you happen to notice that in that stained glass that he had like a bluish tongue sticking out? And then when we saw the girl and she had the Kablumo candy or whatever, the gum, and she was blue, and I was like, I wonder if there's something to that as well. But then he's like, no. I mean, I was watching the video and they were like, no, I don't think it's Mephisto. That's just she's saying it was Loki, because if it was the same Loki that came in, then even if it's the female version, she probably, for effect, would have been wearing the helmet.
Well, that's what I was thinking. The helmet has the horns, so yeah, if that could be misinterpreted, right?
Okay. Well, any more thoughts on Loki before we get to our highly anticipated movie review?
I think
it needs to be Wednesday already, so we can see the next one.
I agree.
Well, when this drops, it'll be Wednesday.
We'll have already seen it. Yeah.
So everything we're talking about might be moot. Who knows?
Yeah, it's got my interest very piqued. Y'all should probably have to, unless life keeps me from watching it. I'll definitely be watching it when it drops, or I will be up to date on it every time we record.
Well, you've got 2 episodes between now and then. Loki was great, and the next thing we're going to discuss was not.
Oh my gosh!
Fair warning, everyone. Fair warning.
At the end of the last episode, I brought up an old memory of a movie called The Peanut Butter Solution. And for some reason, I don't know what triggered it. I have no idea. I have not thought about that movie in years. I last saw it in 1987 when Mom took me to the video store to rent it. And for some reason, it popped in my head. And Kevin was like, I'm going to go watch that. And sure enough, that poor man did.
And we heard about it.
And we heard all about it. And I'm like, we got to find time. And, like I said, my daughter was on the podcast last time with us. And I told her I didn't want her to suffer through it. And she kind of made it obvious that she didn't want to suffer through it either. So last night after we dropped off the kids, Jess and I fired it up. It's on Tubi, in case you're wondering.
Ooh.
Guys, don't bother, okay?
This would be...
Just listen to us describe it, and then...
But your curiosity... Look, your curiosity is going to get the best of you. I get it. And you're going to go to Tubi because you want to see the hot mess car accident train wreck that is The Peanut Butter Solution.
That bad?
It is pretty darn bad. So this was a film that was made in Quebec, Canada, right?
You know what? At first, when they started, the opening was kind of like there was some French tied into it. The production studio, and then hearing them talk, and I'm thinking, this where did they film this movie at? Oh, Quebec. Montreal, Canada.
So, Brock, why don't you give us a rundown of how this movie rolls, like the story?
Since
it's so fresh on your mind.
This movie terrified me as a kid.
I can see why.
This movie terrified me as an adult, but for different reasons. Okay, so this kid named Michael, he and his friend Connie, who is a young Asian lad, there's this abandoned old house, and one day after school, they decided to go visit this old house just to see what was inside. Something curious, as we all were with kids, very curious. And so they climb up this garbage chute that was coming out of the top story window, and they crawl up. And well, Connie crawled up, fell down. Michael went up, got inside the window, and saw something that scared him. They refer to this in the rest of the movie as the fright. He screams bloody murder and tumbles out of the window down that garbage chute and onto the street. Okay, so he got frightened, no big deal. Next morning, he wakes up, and his family, whose dad is played by Michael Hogan from Battlestar Galactica, but his dad is an artist. He's a painter. That's really all he does all day is paint. But at one reference, he sold a painting for $6,000. So I guess dad's doing good.
Yeah, must be a pretty good artist.
And that's going to come into play. Michael walks to the breakfast table. Dad, sister are sitting there, and Michael is bald, completely bald. So they take him to the doctor. The doctor says, "Hey, it's like you were frightened so badly that the ends of your hair and your scalp just let go." And his head was smooth. Put a trailer hitch on that boy. I mean, that's what it was. You could hook a trailer up to him. Chrome dome. So, he goes to school, gets made fun of, wears a wig, and gets pulled off at a soccer game. So all the kids start chasing him down the street and chanting baldy, baldy.
Oh, Brock, you have to describe that better. This thing gets pulled off of its head, okay? And you see the little stringy bits of glue still sticking to it.
It looks like hot glue.
Yeah, and it's like they're doing this in slow-mo, so they're like, they want us to also make fun of this kid while this is happening.
I'm losing my hair. Granted, I'm 40, almost 45, but, he's got some change in his pocket. He sees this homeless guy and lady on the sidewalk. So all these people are walking out and not paying attention to the homeless people, which you tendency to happen. He takes whatever change he's got in his pocket and he drops it in front of the homeless guy. But then while Michael is sleeping, the homeless man and his homeless lady come wake him up. And you're the only person that's helped us in a long time. So we're going to help you. Turns out they're ghosts. Do I need to play the spoiler warnings here? No,
this is not The Sixth Sense.
Because you are not going to watch this movie. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
We're going to ruin it for you. So anyway, the ghosts, they wake him up. Okay, we have a solution to your hair loss. And it's not Hair Club for Men.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Brock, you have to really describe this woman.
Bosley.
I mean, she's like an evil gypsy.
At this point in time, she's being nice.
Yeah.
At this point in time, she's being nice.
Yeah.
There's a recipe that you have to put in dead flies. You have to put in a rotten egg. Anyway, I forget. The main ingredient is peanut butter. There has to be peanut butter in this mixture, this stinky, nasty mixture. So he gets up the next day. He made the mixture. And what happened? Sister went and poured it down the drain.
Yeah, they thought he was going to drink it.
Yeah, they thought it was like,
because he's putting it in the blender and everything. So they thought he was going to drink this stuff. They watched him assemble all these things and they were concerned he was going to drink it. Yeah. So
they pour it down the drain. Dad and sister pour it down the drain. Well, he's like, well, there goes my shot at growing hair. So he gets revisited the next night. Am I correct? It gets revisited the next night by the ghosts, and the lady does not want to give him the repeat of the recipe. Not my fault you lost it. You shouldn't have. So he's like, why don't you just give it to me? She's like, sometimes I'm mean, sometimes I'm nice. I guess I'm just being mean tonight. so the guy ghost is like, oh, Mary, you gotta be nice. Let's give it. So he takes the recipe out of her hand, gives it to Michael, and Michael the next day gets up, makes this stinky concoction once again, and goes to the bathroom and takes a paintbrush and applies it. It's kind of runny. He's like, Maybe I should put more peanut butter in it.
I think it's got dirt in it.
Yeah,
or
soil. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, soil.
Yeah.
It's just nasty. He's got rotten eggs. So he's putting this mess on his head, goes into the shower, washes it off, and like immediately looks in the mirror. Oh, there's no results. Well, no kidding. You just washed it off your head. What do you expect, kid?
It's not Bosley. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
That spray hair,
Yeah, the Ron Popeil, the Ronco spray hair. Yeah, it's not this, man. So anyway, he goes downstairs, and all of a sudden, his head's looking a little dirty, even though if you just clean it. And his sister grabs his head. Oh, you've got little hairs. All of a sudden, the hairs have started sprouting in between the time that he washed it off and went downstairs. Great. Well, the dad comes downstairs. Kid's got more hair.
Yay, we got hair. Yay.
Connie comes over. Hey, look at this. Kid's got a head full of hair. This hair is growing at an exponential rate.
Oh, no.
So the kid goes to school, and by this time, he's got a mop top. From the time he leaves breakfast, goes to school, it's got a mop top. This hair is just growing. They're watching it grow, basically. Gets into class. The teacher's like teaching, and Connie's sitting behind Michael and cutting his hair, and the teacher's warning him, you pay attention in school, kid. During this time, there's a teacher at the school named the Signor. Signor. And so the Signor is an art teacher. He's teaching kids how to paint still life. He brings his dog, Jim. Why I remember the dog's name and hardly anything else, I don't know. But brings the dog, and the Signor is teaching them, you cannot use imagination. You have to paint what you see. And I've seen this actor in other things. He's a skinny old man with a gray goatee and gray curly hair. I know I've seen him somewhere before in the 80s movies. So anyway, the Signor is not that nice of a teacher, not that great of a teacher. He comes into play in a minute again. Michael's at school. He's running home. His hair is growing and growing and growing. I mean, it's like a wedding dress train behind him, almost.
This was my favorite scene from the movie because he's running. Okay, picture a kid, like how old is the kid? About 12?
Yeah,
10, 12, something like that. Yeah. So you have this kid who's like a gender bent Rapunzel.
That's perfect. Running down.
I mean, seriously,
wow.
He's running down the sidewalk, and it's like in slow mo, and you see his hair flopping, and he's like,
it's windy. By the way,
going through this. Yeah, it's windy, and he's going through this emotional moment. No one will accept me. I was bald once, and now I've got more hair. And he gets his hair caught in a hedge bush.
Well, there's a couple. Well, wait. We kind of jumped ahead just a little bit from that first school interaction.
His hair was causing him trouble at school.
Yeah.
And so the school didn't want him back. And so he ran out into the wind.
Yes.
On his way back to school. I'm going anyway. I will learn. S'il vous plaît, whatever.
Sacre bleu.
Yeah. Sacre bleu. I will learn.
No.
So anyway,
to our Canadian listeners, we apologize if you happen to be from that portion of
it's just Ryan.
Canada.
You don't care.
Yeah.
It's just Ryan Dole.
So anyway,
I'm sorry.
Anyway, so prior to this, the Signor is dismissed from the school because he's a terrible teacher. And here's what got me. He's dismissed from the school because the principal looked into his background. Shouldn't you have done that before you hired him?
This is the 80s,
Yeah.
We only look into backgrounds when we feel like we need to, not as a precursor to being hired.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. So this guy's got a sketchy past of being a bad teacher and mean to kids and everything else. And principal should have checked some references at least. So he's been let go. He doesn't use his name anymore. He's like erased his name he's like legally changed his name to the Signor or whatever. Anyway. So he gets dismissed from school. Signor is mad. He knows about Michael and his hair.
Mm-hmm.
So Michael gets trapped in the bushes. His hair gets trapped in the bushes. So instead he pulls his hair out and he runs under the porch of this house and Signor finds him.
But you don't know it's Signor yet.
But you don't know it's Signor.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, spoiler. You're not going to watch the movie. It's okay.
Please God, don't watch the movie.
Don't watch the movie. Just go off what we're saying. And we're not doing that great. I'm not doing that great of a job at explaining this anyway. But anyway, okay. So Michael is kidnapped. And that's another reason that the Signor was released from school. They also brought up the fact that he, has been linked to some kidnapped children. Well, Michael disappears. 20 kids disappear. Okay. Is everybody having hair growth problems? What's going on? So, they're wondering where the kid is. Like, the dad doesn't even care. It seems like he'll come home, whatever. The kid's been gone.
There's a lot of really apathetic parents in this movie because nobody cares really that all these kids have gone missing.
Yeah. The kids don't care. The parents don't care. They'll come back. It's the 80s. You rode 2 miles on your bicycle and your parents didn't care. Just be home by the time the street lights go out. But Michael's been gone for a few days. All right, come back. He'll come back. Whatever. Okay, don't call the police. That's fine. So, Sister and Connie go into Susie is the name of the sister. They go into this art store. And the guy's like, hey, would you guys like to buy this new paintbrush I have? It's a great paintbrush, $20. It's great. The kids are like, I don't need a paintbrush. Even though the dad's a painter. And they're like, oh, well, maybe we can get this for Dad. Yeah, make a great gift for Dad. Your dad's an artist. I know your dad, blah, blah, blah.
Your kid's missing, but here's a paintbrush to cheer you up.
Yeah. Your brother's gone. Have a paintbrush. They're like, wow, this paintbrush looks different. This is hair. The bristles are hair. I know that the sisters, I know this hair. I cut this hair. This is Michael's hair. Well, the guy didn't leave his name. She's talking to the art dealer. The guy didn't leave his name. And so, well, okay, we'll buy your paint. This is why they buy the paintbrush. We'll give you the $20 for the paintbrush. Tell us his name. I don't know why the art dealer is being so coy about everything. He just
drops him off.
It makes no sense. So anyway, they go out. They say, okay, this dealer drops the paintbrushes off. He's here on Saturdays. Okay, so they go outside and they wait outside for this. Susie is reading an issue of Rockstar Photo Album magazine. Legit, that's the name of the magazine.
It is
Rockstar Photo Magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Rockstar Photo Album magazine.
Oh,
I guess it's kind of like Teen Beat or Tiger Beat in the 80s
for Canadians.
Yeah, for Canadians. Connie's hiding under the steps. So he's got a bag of sugar. And boy, I'm going to get to that in a second. He's got a bag of sugar, a massive funnel, and a garden hose. I'm thinking he's going to siphon the gas out of the delivery's truck.
Sugar in the tank. Yeah.
Yeah. So Signor drives up in this truck, gets out. He's wearing a jacket, by the way, a nice luxurious coat. It's made out of Michael's hair.
Mm-hmm.
He's prancing around in this big hair coat. Michael's curls are all over it.
He's not joking. This is seriously in the movie.
Yeah, this is it. Signor gets a couple of boxes of brushes, takes it inside, and Connie runs and jumps in the back of the delivery truck. He's got his bag of sugar, which looked to be about a 5-pound, maybe 10-pound bag of sugar. I don't know. It's the metric system. It's Canada. I don't know what it weighs. But he's got his massive funnel and his garden hose. The whole plan is for Susie to follow the truck. And by the way, Signor approaches Susie as he's leaving the art store. Would you like to go for a ride, little girl? She's like, no, I'd prefer to ride my bike. Okay.
Yeah.
So he and the
weird
Michael
exchange.
Yeah. He and the Michael haircoat jump in and take off. Well, the truck starts taking off and Susie starts pedaling behind on her bike. And Connie attaches the garden hose to the funnel, slips the garden hose out the back. Who knows? I'm going to say this for our people in Canada. I don't know how many kilometers they were going. And I don't know the weight, the pounds or the kilograms, whatever, of the bag of sugar. But Connie starts pouring this bag of sugar down the funnel, leaving a trail. Okay, great. I don't know how far they go. But that bag of sugar, I learned, lasts a really long time in Canada when you're leaving a trail from the art store to this warehouse.
See, it should have done much better if she'd have gotten bags of milk. I mean, they do their milk in bags up there. So if they got a couple bags of milk, she'd have been much better off.
Well, but the milk would have washed away. But alas, you think, well, the sugar will be fine. No, she turns the corner, which I don't know why she's just not following the truck more closely where she can see it. She's having to follow this trail of sugar. I'm like, speed up. You can see this big red delivery truck driving down the road. All of a sudden, the street sweeper comes along and all the sugar is gone off the street. She's like, oh no, how will I find the truck? And I'm like, see, you should have sped up.
And I would like to point out there is a fantastic musical montage to go along with the truck the truck chase scene here. Okay.
The sugar is being poured. Whose lovely voice do we get to be serenaded by as this chase is happening?
Think Canadian, everybody.
You will never believe this, guys.
A then very unknown up-and-coming singer by the name of Celine Dion is treating us to a musical montage about
how the sugar will go on.
No. This was about the Magic Man.
Yeah, the Magic Man.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
And it's yeah. The song was absolutely perfect for the train wreck of the movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
Her caterwauling is ever present. So anyway, Connie is captured as the delivery truck stops at this warehouse. Connie is captured by the Signor. Susie discovers and this is where I started playing Yahtzee on my phone. So I may have a couple of these details not done very well. But anyway, Susie finds him, and turns out Michael has been abducted by the Signor, as we already know. Mm-hmm. He is laid in like this coffin type of contraption, like an open with no lid on it. He's been drugged, and he's on a yogurt diet.
Yeah, a special yogurt diet.
He's laid out horizontal. His head is at the top of this funnel that looks like a casket. His hair is just
coming
cascading down this massive funnel where all the other 20 kidnapped children are on an assembly line. They're cutting his hair, and they're making the paintbrushes out of it.
Yeah.
Kidnap, child labor. It's almost like a Nike factory. And the paintbrushes are Michael's beautiful hair, and Michael's just out of it. He's just
so Signor is basically walking around with a Michael jacket, like he's just gloating, like he's like a pimp of his operation or something.
Yeah. He's got his pimp coat on perfectly. Pimp coat, pimp paintbrushes. That's what he's got.
This is like Soylent Green, but hair.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Susie finds out, and here's where my memory's getting sketchy because I was just completely zoned out at this point after watching this
At some point, your mind goes into another place while watching this movie.
So
your attention span went fight or flight, I guess.
Dude, it was.
I don't think most of the actors and the director really were coherent at this point in the movie anyway, so it's fine.
Eventually, Connie is after he's captured. He's hoisted up in a fishing net, basically to the ceiling, and he's spinning, and of course he's pretending to be out of it. And Signor, please be my dad. My dad was killed in a plane crash. Signor, please be my dad. I've never been a father. You're kidnapping children. You might as well be. You should be used to kids at least. So Susie has discovered this and gone back to tell her dad. And Susie has discovered all this, gone back to tell her dad. They finally had the police coming. Not the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, which would have been epic.
I would have loved to have the way. I think this would have been better with the Mounties.
I would have loved the Mounties involved. Instead, they go get the regular police.
Yeah.
Spectre Clouseau, whatever, I don't know. But
his name is Inspector Yahtzee. It's all I need to know.
Yeah, it's Yahtzee. It's all I remember. So I'm over here trying to get 4 6s to round out my bonus score, and here comes the police. So
wait. You have missed something here.
What'd I miss?
The whole thing about Michael's hair on these paintbrushes is that they paint these pictures that...
Oh, the magic pictures.
The magic pictures. His magic hair on the brush creates these magic pictures that you can actually step inside to...
Yeah, you can go inside
places.
The paintings.
Yeah, whatever place the Signor paints on these canvases with the paintbrush using Michael's hair, it's a magic painting now. So...
As you can tell, the drugs are getting strong.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone in the cast and crew's usage.
Oh, yeah.
Well, after Connie convinces him, be my dad.
Right,
right. It is at this point where the Signor actually turns into a kind of a decent, loving guy towards these kids. And the kids are like, oh, Signor, paint a picture. He's like, I will paint you a picture with this magic brush in less than a minute. And ha-ha. And of course, then the really bad special effects of them standing in front of a lit screen.
And
terrible.
Guys, you have to realize that the Signor guy, it's Shatner levels of overacting.
Oh, extreme.
This is Lucy in the Sky with Diamond Shatner singing.
Yes. I mean, so everything that the Signor guy does, from the first time we see him in the classroom to this, it's just like massive levels of overacting. So he is like at a level 5 times what everybody else is.
This is no exaggeration.
Yeah.
I promise.
So he paints the picture. He's dancing. Aha, aha. He's turning, facing the kids, making faces at that. Oh, you're the kids. You love me. Yeah.
And the kid's like, yes, yes, senor.
Senor, senor. And of course, the other kid asks Connie, did your dad really die? He's like, no, shut up. You know, Connie being the con man. So anyway, the senor's like, what do you want me to paint, Connie, my son? And he's like, I want you to paint the fright. What is the fright? Well, it's this house, and there's a fright. Okay. Well, he paints the house, but Senor, this is not the fright. This is only the house where we found the fright. Senor climbs into the picture, climbs up that garbage chute, goes into the top window, screams, falls backwards out of the garbage chute, and is unconscious on the floor. He fell out of the painting in front of the children. Oh no, Senor is down. We've got Senor down.
Yeah. And guys, this is all in 80s effects too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It
was phenomenal.
It ain't great. Senor passes out. So they're all trying to escape. They're trying to find the way out of this warehouse. Senor wakes up. Senor is bald.
He looks like Walter White.
Yeah, he exactly. He is Heisenberg coming after these kids. And oh no, you kids, I love you. Don't. Where are you going? You shouldn't be doing this. So they make it to the end of the warehouse. But
at some point, though, Michael goes back into the house, though, that he painted in the picture. Michael goes back because remember
this is after this. Hang on, this
okay.
We're leading up to that.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, spoilers. So
it wasn't all Yahtzee, Jessica. Okay?
Yeah, it wasn't all Yahtzee. So anyway,
it's a fever dream.
Yeah. So Inspector Clouseau and whoever else, his partner, come and with the dad and with the sister and they bust into the warehouse and oh, there he is. There's Senor, bald Senor Heisenberg. So,
Sacre bleu.
Sacre bleu. Have some blue sky. So
have some bagged milk.
Do you know my friend Tuco? So they arrest Senor. And they know Senor is the one doing this because Senor is the doctor who diagnosed the bald head problem. Is the doctor's brother. Sorry, I left that important detail out. But anyway, so they go in, they find Michael, and Michael's just out of it. He's like, oh, is this a dream? Are y'all here? Are you really here? Connie, is that you? Yeah, so they bring him up out of this casket, hair still growing. They cut his hair, get him out of the feeder tube he's in. They take him back to the house. They don't put him in the painting. They take him back to the house, don't they? The actual house.
No, I thought they went inside the house from the painting.
Either way, he goes back into this house. He goes up the garbage chute, goes inside. He finds the fright. What is the fright? It's the ghost bum and his bum lady that is the cause of him losing his hair and the cause of him regrowing his hair. And he's like, well, I'm not afraid of y'all anymore. Y'all have helped me. Why did y'all guys frighten me? And I don't know. So
ghost. I mean, geez.
Yeah.
That's what ghosts do, right?
We don't have anything better to do.
So by seeing Ghost Bum and Ghost Lady Bum in the house, it cures him. He's like, I'm not afraid of y'all. All of a sudden, his hair stops growing. And so they take him home. And by the way, the mother is gone this whole time. It's not like a Disney movie where the mom's dead. The mom's on vacation.
I thought at first the mom was dead, but then
the mom was in Australia.
Yes.
Mom comes home. She gets out of the taxi, runs up to Michael. What's up with your hair? And that's where the movie ends.
Yeah. And the end credits, the song is Michael's song sung by Celine Dion.
She has 2 songs in this movie, y'all.
How this did not make a Mystery Science Theater episode, I'll never know either.
It's got to. Eventually.
Please, guys, we will tell you again. Don't go watch this. You're gonna
and I'm so sorry.
You're gonna email Brock and you're gonna say, "What? I want my hour and a half back, please."
Yeah,
it's that bad.
So I drug the story on so I could give you at least a condensed version of this train wreck.
And I hope y'all are still with us, by the way.
Yeah, we hope you're still listening to the podcast. If you have nodded off to my droning, I understand. It's okay.
Maybe
Brock telling it is way more interesting than the movie was.
I agree with that completely.
Don't waste your time with the peanut butter solution. Just don't.
See, one of the biggest takeaways I had with this was, we would have to watch these really horrible movies back in, when I was in school and, the 90s-ish era. They were always like B or C flicks. You know, it was always people that were horrible actors, or they were just getting started, and the directors were horrible, and the setup was horrible. This is like one of those movies, guys.
I can't even give it enough credit to say B movie. This was an F.
It was
in the toilet.
I mean, and the director didn't even have the control of the cojones to even, like, the senior guy, the actor, to tell him, come out of space, bro. We need you to act along with the rest of us who are recording this as a PSA.
I want to know what they were on. You know, I kind of related to somebody was on something when they made Doctor Strange in the MCU, you know, with Dormammu. It's 5 times that level of whatever they were on.
Oh, I thought you were going to go Yellow Submarine on me.
Oh my gosh. If you've seen the Beatles' Yellow Submarine, dude, yeah, they had whatever the Beatles were having making that movie.
With a quarter of the budget, maybe an eighth of the budget.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mentioned last time that I was remembering some sort of weird looking robot puppet and everything on the movie poster. We're not going to dive into this movie, but I was mistaken. It was not that movie. I remembered the Peanut Butter Solution, but then I remembered another movie's poster called Making Contact, which was directed by, what's his name?
Roland Emmerich.
Yeah, Roland Emmerich, who was the director of Independence Day.
This is really early Roland Emmerich.
This is also 1985.
Byproduct, yes.
This is 1985, same year as Peanut Butter Solution. So I was clicking in the ballpark.
So Brock put this on last night after Peanut Butter Solution.
Yeah, 2 movies.
Yeah,
2 movies
because that was going to be such a wise decision for the palate cleanse, right?
And like I said, I'm not gonna review Making Contact, but that's where that demonic looking ventriloquist doll that was on the poster. That's where he came from. Very quick overview of Making Contact. Don't watch this either, because it's an F version of E.T.
Extremely F.
Except E.T. was an alien, and this demonic black magic ventriloquist doll was the foil for that.
Yeah, at least E.T. was kind.
Yeah.
All right, Brock. Was it better or worse than Mac and Me?
Haven't seen Mac and Me.
Brock hasn't seen Mac and Me.
Oh my God.
Remember?
So see, this is what I'm going to do.
That's coming.
I'm going to make him watch Mac and Me for making me watch Peanut Butter Solution. This is how we're going to do this thing.
Okay.
Mac and Me is actually enjoyable to somewhat. I mean,
yeah, somewhat.
It's the longest McDonald's commercial in history.
As kids, it was appreciated as a kid. As an adult, I'm going to kind of question that.
Well, I will make an effort to watch it, but
no, you have to watch the whole thing.
I will.
Let me watch Peanut Butter Solution.
Dude, I sat through 2 of these last night. I will sit through Mac and Me, no problem.
So, like on the previous podcast, we made the joke about the Bama Geeks obscure movie suggestion of the week. So
this is starting.
But my suggestion this week is going to be Making Contact.
Don't watch Making Contact.
So, no, but
it's such a low grade version of E.T. But here's the thing: you got this boy with magical powers who's.
We're talking about Making Contact.
Yeah,
now.
Making Contact. I have no idea where he got his magical powers.
That's totally not Mac and Me.
No, there's a young boy, and all the toys start coming up. His dad died. The movie starts with his dad's funeral. It's already uplifting to begin with. Which, by the way, when the camera pans in this opening scene, it goes right past a tombstone that just has the word Martha on it. I'm like, a Batman and Superman are here. Great.
I didn't see that.
You were asleep.
No, I think I was. I don't think I was in the room at this time.
Yeah, that's right. You weren't in the room. But yeah, there's a tombstone of Martha. Like great Clark and Bruce are here.
Oh man.
So kid's dad dies. He's having his toy phone in his room ring, so he thinks he's talking to his dad. So I'm not going to recap this movie. Just know that while this toy phone is ringing, a Spalding basketball with Larry Bird's signature falls down. The kid's got Return of the Jedi bed sheets. There's a Mickey and Donald doll on top of a shelf that fall. There's a Smurfs record player. Mm-hmm. There's product placement out the yin yang in this movie, and I don't know if it was even authorized for them to do that.
Well, they're also drinking out of E.T. glasses.
They're drinking out of E.T. glasses.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I hope they got permission to use all this product placement, because it's all over the place. Even at one point, Donald goes, a very bad, 80s special effect of Donald, the doll, Donald Duck, goes flying to the end of the room, hits the window, and then comes back towards the camera. It's like the movie's bad. This ventriloquist doll. This is the movie that gave me the creeps. That ventriloquist doll,
and rightfully so.
Rightfully, it's a creepy.
I mean, I made it dummy. Halfway through, and I was asleep.
So, do not watch Making Contact. Do not watch The Peanut Butter Solution. You have been educated by the Bama Geeks Movie Club.
We will watch the bad movies for you so that you don't have to watch them. This is our gift to you.
This is what I'm going to do when I hit retirement age. We're going to keep this going for years, and you guys are going to have to listen to my 70-year-old butt explain bad movies from my childhood. My memory should be even better by then.
Oh, man.
I have droned on a long time about this. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think I'm done now. I think I'm about...
I think I'm pretty much done. For not doing a movie cover of coverage of that synopsis, you went pretty far with that, Brock.
What, for Making Contact?
Yes.
No, there's more. The movie's only an hour and 18 minutes long, and it's all bad.
But I will say that you guys totally... He said, don't watch Making Contact.
No.
You have to watch Mac and Me, though. If you haven't seen Mac and Me, you have got to watch it. That movie is awful, but like not a bad awful.
I'm going to make
it's the enjoyable bad kind of movie.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a conscious effort to watch that for next time, and we can discuss it on the next one, maybe.
Okay.
I may try to see if I can find it, because I haven't watched Mac and Me in probably 20 years or more.
All right, so we have our homework assignments.
Yeah, Mac and Me.
Loki and Mac and Me.
If you want a palate cleanser, remember, see Cruella.
Yes.
Kevin has seen it since the last time.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin,
has not?
Was it worth our hype?
Nah.
It was very much worth your hype.
Good.
So, see Cruella. We still won't spoil it, but go see it. See it on Disney Plus. Whatever you got to do, see it. Anything to get this taste out of your mouth from peanut butter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like peanut butter. I just don't like the peanut butter solution.
No.
There you go.
My solution to the peanut butter solution is just to go get a jar of Jif or Peter Pan or whatever brand you like and just eat it, and that will make you feel better.
Okay.
Peanut butter is the proper solution. The peanut butter solution is highly improper.
The more you know.
G.I. Joe, knowing is half the battle. So,
and if we happen to still have people listening to us at this point, it's talking about me.
And this is where the Bama Geeks fandoms dropped.
This is where we start getting the 1-star reviews on iTunes.
Yeah.
Please leave us a 5-star review, because we suffered for this. Please go leave us a 5-star review on iTunes.
We love you.
We suffered for this because it was such a horrible movie.
Yeah. So, please reward us. So, well, guys, if we have nothing else to talk about, we're going to end on such a happy note.
Happy.
Guys, we get to look forward to watching Mac and Me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Join us, won't you? Talk to us on social media at Bama Geeks, everywhere you can find us.
And please let us know if you decided to suffer through the peanut butter solution on Tubi.
No, don't let us know, because we don't want to put you through that. We don't want to know that we caused you that much anguish.
Well,
don't you know how people are? The more you tell them not to do something, they're going to do it.
Exactly.
I was about to say, I agree with Jessica. If you decided, even though we told you a million times in this, that you were still going to go out and download Tubi and watch that movie, I want to hear what you thought of it. I really want to hear. I want to see if we get any kind of responses from anybody.
You know what? We'll post the trailer on our social media.
Oh, okay.
We'll let you decide. Watch the trailer. You decide.
We have spent a lot of time on peanut butter solution today.
Half this podcast.
Majority of it,
Oh, man.
Maybe.
Okay.
So, okay. We're going to get out of here. We've been here a long time. We have ruined every bit of our loyalty.
You guys stick with us. I promise we'll get back to it.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll be Mac and Me and all over the next episode. Hopefully we'll get it done. So thank you so much for joining us on this episode. We apologize for that movie. We apologize for that review, but we love you for hanging out, sticking with us. If you made it to the end, we love you so much. Thank you for joining us on Bama Geeks, guys.
We love you. We seriously love you. Come back.
And
don't leave us.
Please come back. Thank you. Stick around. See us on our next episode.
Maybe in the next.
We talk about Mac and Me, and you can love that too.
And maybe one of Bo's figures will fall and give a good sound effect. We don't know.
You never know.
That's right.
From the Bama Geeks.
So
that's right.
5-star review on iTunes, please. A good review. We know that's asking a lot after this. And please hit us up on our social media channels. Join in our discussion. We'd love to hear from you at Bama Geeks. BamaGeeks@gmail.com if you want to drop a comment that way. And take care of yourself. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.